What's up, guys? Trevor here again. So this is section 2 of the Facebook ads course. We're going to be talking about our ad strategy, and of course that starts with data collection, uh, or training your pixel is another way of saying it. So let's go ahead and just get started. Let me get this clicked. Cool. So the Facebook pixel, this is where it all starts. We did a little intro to this in the last section, where I basically showed you how to create your pixel, how to set up your pixel with Shopify. So let's dive in a little bit more so I can explain what the pixel really does. So what's the purpose of pixel training? So pixel training is basically where you get your Facebook pixel number, right? Your unique number that Facebook gives you that is significant to your Facebook pixel. With that number, you can basically track which customers are interacting with your ads, with your website, with anything that you post online. Basically, you can track it with your Facebook pixel. And this little number basically signifies who your target audience is and helps you develop that. Helps you basically spend your ad budget more wisely in the long haul. So first and foremost, it collects data on your target audience. Like I was saying, this can be anything from people who just look at your content, who interact with your Facebook post, who watch 50% of your video, who watch 75% of your video. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that the pixel tracks. It's just a matter of how you use that data and how you optimize the data collection process. Um, so there's a bunch of different things that you want to test with your pixel. You want to test different interests, you want to test different age groups, you want to test different locations, and see who responds to the products that you're offering best. What you don't want to do is try to basically target audiences in a niche that is unrelated to your product or what you're trying to sell. The more you branch out and the more you kind of collect data from audiences that are kind of off base from the center, the more you're gonna dilute your pixel data. So some people try to do things where they optimize for things like page likes or optimize for things like that in third world countries, targeting interests that aren't even based around uh, their target audience. And the reason they do that is because it's really, really, really cheap to get page likes. You can pay $10 and end up with 200 to 300, and sometimes even like 500 page likes. Um, and that's cool if what you're trying to do is just accrue some, I guess, like social presence. But if you're trying to sell something and if you're trying to train your pixel and get data so that eventually you can, sell to a more targeted audience, uh, these third world countries that offer really cheap likes aren't going to help you with that. You want to be testing in interests and age groups and locations where you at least have done some kind of market research to show that it shows potential in those interests and age groups. Lastly, using the data you collect to drive more targeted ad campaigns. So this is where it will eventually in this I think in the second or third video of this unit, we're going to start talking about lookalike and custom audiences. And this is where the data collection portion really comes in handy. Because if you have custom and lookalike audiences, that means you have some strong enough data to basically target more specific audiences, people who are going to convert into customers more easily. Obviously, end goal is to spend less and make more. Um, with data collection, we usually start out at around 15 to 25 bucks a day, just collecting data. And once we scale it, once we have the data to work with, we go ahead and build lookalike audiences uh, and target more specific, basically campaign goals like purchase conversions. So I'm pretty sure I went through this with y'all in one of the earlier videos, but for the purpose of data collection, we're only going to focus on three types of campaigns. We're going to focus on link clicks or traffic. We're going to focus on engagement, mostly post engagement, and we're going to focus on video views. These are going to be the three campaigns we focus on. These are going to be three campaigns that I want y'all to run when you first start out with your Facebook ads, assuming that you have no custom audiences, that you have no like really like email lists or anything like that. If you're starting at square one and you're targeting cold audiences, these need to be the 3 ad campaigns you try to focus on early on. So who's your audience? Do your research. Before we dive into anything, this needs to be treated like a business. You need to care enough about what you're doing, and this needs to be treated just like any other business. You need to know who your target market is, or you're going to end up wasting money. So first and foremost, look at your competitors using tools like SEMrush. Ecom Inspector is another one. Big Ads was one that we used too. All of these are super helpful in figuring out what your competitors are doing, who their audiences are, what keywords they're bidding on. The other thing you can use is Google Trends, obviously, which basically just helps you figure out what keywords are performing well organically right now. What are people searching for on Google when they come to Google? And you can even use Google Trends to basically find other keywords once you have a certain keyword. Like, let's say we're looking at I don't know, dog kennels, and then you type, red dog kennels, and for whatever reason, red dog kennels are performing better than any other dog kennel. I mean, that's useful data that you can use when you're, building out your site and building out your ad campaigns. Look at other Facebook ads and pages in your niche. This should go out without saying. You want your Facebook page to be modeled after the best performers in your industry, but not necessarily, look exactly like them. As far as your copy goes, the things that you're writing alongside with your ad, the images, the videos that they're using, that's the kind of stuff that you want to look at so you can give yourself some ideas on how you can improve on those, based off, your research and the things that you do when you're doing all this market research. Biggest thing, if you have any takeaway from this lesson, it's that before you run your ad campaigns, you should find the pain points in your target audience. What are you providing a solution to? What pain are you solving? That's the best template to use. It's, you probably hear commercials like this all the time. It's like, do you have back pain? Do you have X, Y, Z? Like it's basically in that format of question, do you have this problem? Here's a solution that you might not have heard of before. That is the oldest, template and strategy in the book, but it's still in use today because it's super effective. And even the big guys who do this more subliminally, who aren't so upfront about hey, pain point solution, they still have that hidden message of they're solving a problem for you. So find the pain points in your target audience is what that comes back to. End of the day, you need to know who your audience is, and you need to know why your product is something that they would buy. What is the problem that you're solving? So yeah, that is really just lesson 1, pixel training. We're gonna go ahead and in the next lesson talk a little bit about the basic strategy behind data collection and maybe set up our first campaign. I wanted to really quick show y'all Facebook Pixel Helper 2 because I'm pretty sure we went through this in an earlier video, but I need to make sure that y'all have this, you have it set up on your stores, because it is going to be crucial in the data collection phase. Make sure you get Facebook Pixel Helper for your browser. It's free. I'll go ahead and show y'all one more time what it does. Basically, here's lumens.com. It's a e-commerce store selling in the lighting industry. Obviously, they have a ton of products on here, but we're going to look at something, like, for example, we're on the home page right now, and you see this right here is the Facebook Pixel Helper. It's a browser extension. You click on it, and it tells you is what Pixel ID is tracking on this page and what data they're collecting from you right now. So right now, they can tell that I am viewing this page, and it's collecting a little bit of micro data, such as the page that I'm viewing, the URL, some metadata and stuff like that. It probably even tells them the browser that I'm using and the fact that I'm in Austin, Texas. And if we go to, for example, a product page, let's see if we can just find one real quick. If we went to a product page like this and click on one of these, if $1,500 wall light. That's ridiculous. But as you can see, now our pixel helper is telling us that there's 6 events going on right now. 6 events. That's a search. It probably knows that I searched for wall lights. Page view, because it tells what page I'm looking at. View content, because I'm looking at a product page. That's why when you optimize for a view content conversion, you're optimizing for people to look at your product page. We'll go into that a little bit more later. And it also has some micro data. You'll see that the add to cart isn't triggering, which is probably good because I haven't added it to my cart yet. So let's say, I find this and I select to finish, and then I add it to my cart. I guarantee you, if we open up the pixel helper now, we're going to see that the add to cart event, yep, triggered. It's got the green light. Everything's good to go. So yeah, that is what the pixel helper does. It lets you know when you're shopping and when you're setting up your own site whether or not the pixel is capturing the data it's supposed to be capturing. So yeah, that's basically Facebook Pixel 101, data collection 101. What we're going to be going through for the remainder of this course is going to be just ad strategy, and in the campaign launch phase, which is the next unit, we'll actually go in and set up some ad campaigns. So looking forward to seeing y'all in the next video.